Hey church, we are kicking off our 10 days of prayer and fasting. And so we wanted to just create this video for you to give you a little bit of information about what fasting is, why we do it, and how to execute it so that you can be better equipped to decide whether it's right for you during our 10 days of prayer and fasting. So fasting is all over the Bible. Oftentimes in the Bible, they fasted food. And it is quite simply taking a break. It's taking a break from something that you do or that you find pleasure in. It might be social media. You know, we're going to expand the definition. They didn't have Facebook back in the Bible, but it might be social media. It might be working on the weekends. Maybe you're not great at Sabbath, and you really feel like that's what you need to fast from. Might be coffee or tea. So whatever it is, fasting is taking a break. And the goal is really that whatever you take a break from, it'll allow you to create space to deepen your relationship with God. And we would hope that two things would come out of fasting. The first is that you would strengthen your God-given spiritual muscle of self-control. I love this verse in 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." And I love it because self-control is up there with power and love, and they are all opposing this spirit of fear. And in this day and age, we live in a time when fear and anxiety are ruling our lives. And God said, it's not from me. That's not from me. I give you a spirit of power and a spirit of love and a spirit of self-control. And I think oftentimes when we hear that word control, we think of the negative image it conveys of us being God in our own lives. But this idea of self-control is the ability to better say no to our humanly selves and the things in our lives that give us pleasure. You know, we're craving things, right? We always crave things that give us pleasure, and they're not all bad things. You know, a meal in the middle of the day, that's not a bad thing. But practicing our God-given muscle of self-control by saying no to some of these things allows God back in his rightful place of control of our lives, and it deepens our trust in him as well. And secondly, out of this time of fasting, we hope that we can hear God. I was just in Lake Geneva a couple weeks ago, and I was walking the lake path. If you've never done that, you need to do it. But I was walking the lake path, and it was so noisy. There were lawnmowers, and there were construction vehicles, and there were people talking, and it was just so noisy. And I had gone out there to meet with God. I was so excited to walk and to pray, and I just said, God, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And I felt this stirring where he said, listen for my creation. Block out the noise. And so I did. All of a sudden, I stopped hearing the lawnmowers and the construction vehicles, and I started to hear the birds chirping and the waves lapping up on the shore and the wind in the trees. I couldn't hear it before because all I could hear was the noise. And we live in this society where life is so noisy and we're running from one thing to the next, but fasting allows us to stop for a little bit of time and just be able to hear. Now, fasting, it doesn't make you more spiritual. It doesn't make you more impressive. And you should not do it if you're only signing up because we're doing it as a church. But I encourage you to decide for yourself if this is the right next step, because what we're asking you to do is to deepen your relationship with Jesus. And we're asking that we do it together and not for one purpose. You know, oftentimes you'll hear we're praying and fasting for this. We're not. We're just praying and fasting as a church community to deepen our relationships with Jesus. And I am just so excited to see the fruit that comes out of this. So starting October 26th, prayer and fasting. And if you are still not sure about this whole fasting thing, why don't you give one of us a call or an email on the pastoral staff? We would love to talk with it further with you and help you to decide if this is right for you.